You've made your documentary film, you've had a great film festival run, and it's time to take the next step. The big question is, what do you do now? So here's my story. After spending literally thousands of dollars hiring distribution consultants and taking endless online courses about distribution, I learned that developing a distribution strategy was a lot less complicated than I thought once I understood the basic options of distribution. Once you have the facts, it will save you a lot of time, energy, and money. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. This isn't everything you need to know by any stretch, but I hope it's a starting point. So when it comes to distribution right now, you have 4 basic options for distributing your film. And we're going to go over the pros and cons of each one of these. So the first one is, and what most filmmakers dream of, is selling their film to Netflix or one of the major streaming services. The way this works is pretty simple. For the majority of films that are independently funded, it starts with getting into one of the top 4 film festivals. These are things like Sundance, Berlin, Toronto, or Cannes. These are where buyers go. Once you get in, you need to spend considerable time and money to build buzz and excitement around your film to attract buyers who might make you an offer. I ran the calculations, and your chances of getting into one of these film festivals or selling your film is about 1 to 3% of a chance, and that's out of about 20,000 films. All right, this doesn't mean that it won't happen, but it's basically good to understand your odds. Personally, I think it's worth taking a chance and, submit your film to film festivals if you can afford it. You never know if you don't try. So the pros and cons of this strategy are pretty simple. The pros, if you get in and your film gets sold, it can potentially be a pretty good payday. And if you get a good distributor, they'll do a lot of the upfront work to take care of the distribution details. So here's the cons. It's high risk, high reward. And regardless of what happens, you still need to spend time and money working with your distributor, marketing your film. This will be things like going to a long list of additional film festivals, screening events, and meetings, which take an average of 6 months to 1 year. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you want to be on set making films, or you have a family, this can be challenging on relationships if you have other goals in life. It's really important to understand that these days, even major distributors don't spend a lot of money marketing impact documentaries. It's still up to the filmmaker to market and take initiative on developing impact strategies for their films. Let's talk about the second option, aggregators. These are companies that you pay around $1,300 to format your film, and they get it on Apple, iTunes, Amazon, and several other small streaming services. You will get paid 70% of whatever the film sells for in rentals and purchases. This is a very broad overview, but if you want to learn more, you can look at a company called Bitmax to understand more about what they do. All right, the pros of this. It's a fast way to give access to a lot of people, and it's relatively easy to set up these accounts. All right, the cons. These companies require you to pay upfront, and usually you have annual fees of about $100. But here's the big one. They will not market your film. If you don't put the time, money, and effort into a very strong marketing campaign, your film will easily get lost in the sea of content that's coming out every day. Okay, the third option is self-distribution. For a lot of impact documentary filmmakers, this is going to be the best option. With this option, you're going to be responsible for marketing, managing, distributing, organizing screening events, online rentals, as well as learning the systems that go along and the tech that goes along to do this. Now, this might sound overwhelming, but it's really not that hard, and most people, once they learn it, it's just 1,000 times easier the next time they do it. Today, when we develop a new film, it's just part of the list of things we needed to produce the film. There's one thing I want to mention that's very important when you're considering self-distribution. Do you want to have access to your audience in the future or not? For 99% of impact documentary filmmakers we work with, they want to stay connected with their audience and to build an email database so that they can promote their impact campaigns. All right, the whole process of self-distribution takes strategy and a system that we cover in detail in Doc Film School. We cover marketing, distribution, and designing impact strategies that make it's basically really easy to learn this stuff. We go over all this stuff in a step-by-step process with templates, so you don't have to do all that extended work and learning. In marketing emails, there's templates for all that stuff. So the pros of self-distribution are you maintain control of your film. You'll have a direct connection to your audience to create impact, and you can generate more profit and make an impact at the same time. It's actually a pretty good deal. All right, the cons are pretty simple. It takes time and money to do all this. You will need to learn a few skills and systems to get things set up, but for the most part, once these are set up, it's pretty simple to manage anywhere. We actually have several films we're distributing right now, and we manage it from our laptops wherever we are in the world. So one last thing. One major aspect of self-distribution is marketing. No matter what, you still need to market your film to make sure people see it. So there's one really important thing I want to mention on how to make these decisions, but first let's finish with the fourth option. All right, the last distribution option is, you guessed it, YouTube. Depending on your goals, there are two ways to go here. If you want to make income from your film, you will need to spend time before releasing your film developing a YouTube channel and getting it monetized. This can take about a year, but once you get it monetized, every time something or someone watches a film on your website, you make something. Now, if you want to get exposure and you don't care about making money or having a direct connection via email with your audience, this can be a fantastic option. Posting your film on YouTube can be a great way to get it seen by a lot of people by leveraging the algorithm, but the best way to make sure it's seen is by launching a marketing campaign before you release it. To be honest, I think a lot of films that are posted on YouTube just don't get traction on that platform because they don't do a good job simply marketing the campaign leading up to the release of the film. Think about YouTube as just a release place to release your film. So the pros of YouTube are simple. You have the algorithm to help you get your film to audiences, and you can reach literally billions of people. That's pretty great. And if you include an impact campaign that's embedded within your film, you can also do that at the same time. The cons of the strategy are pretty simple. You won't have direct contact with your audience, which can make impact pretty challenging. And you still have to create a marketing campaign. And last, you have to learn how to use YouTube, which you may or not make money doing, or you might not have the time to build a channel. So here's the thing I want to tell you that's key to all of this. There's no perfect plan for every film. And as you can see, marketing is something that films can't ignore anymore. It has to become an essential part of any distribution path you choose. But here's the thing. When you start raising money for your film, just make sure you include marketing as a line item. For us, it's a minimum of 25 to 35% of our entire budget. That means if you're shooting a $100,000 documentary, $25,000 to $35,000 of our total budget is set aside for marketing. This means we have to design our productions around $65,000 to $75,000. This can change the way we write our scripts, hire crews, and dozens of other decisions. So I hope this helps, and like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.